Welcome to today's edition of Flyers Pulse with HTS. I'm Haley Taylor Simon, my fifth season as a credentialed media member covering the Philadelphia Flyers. And you can get your latest Flyers news on this podcast on Hockey Hot Stove or YouTube. Today we had the last day of camp for the rookies. And I have to tell you, it was a very interesting day. It was my first day back. We heard from Danny Brière, who spoke for about 23 minutes. I also had a one on one interview with Spencer Gill, who I talked about a lot last season. He is probably one of the better defensive prospects that this team has. And on top of that, we got an exclusive preview of a documentary type of series that the Flyers will be posting on their YouTube channel. So a lot went down today at practice. I have a couple of notes. So the older guys were on the ice. Tyson Forrester was in a no contact jersey. However, today he was working on contact with Travis Sanheim. Kulisov was there. And other than that, the guys, they looked good. So Danny Brière spoke and he gave a couple of injury updates. He said right now for Ristolainen, he looks good. Maybe he'll be back within the first month. Same with Tyson, as today he was testing contact, and the trainers really want him to go through the process. When it comes to Jet Luchenko, obviously he didn't participate at this rookie camp. However, Danny said that he will be practicing Thursday and he won't have any no contact jerseys. He will be a full participant. And then when it comes to Oliver Bonk, he said something upper body popped up and they took some images this morning and they're still waiting for some updates. While the Flyers training camp roster came out, Igor Zamola's name was not on it. That was just an oversight. Zamola will be at training camp, so no worry on that. Danny also kind of talked about some players that he was really excited to see. That comes with Andre and Bonk. And he does believe that those are the type of players that could really be pushing for some jobs, but it really is a wait and see situation with Oliver Bonk. When it comes to Fedotov, obviously the Flyers made a trade with Columbus for Ivan Fedotov, and he said overall it gives some more cap space, right? Um, he wants Kolosov to play a lot more, and he believes that with Fedotov here, it would take away some time. So, in his words, he is not worried about Kolosov going back to the KHL, none of that. And it just made sense to trade Fedotov to clear up some of that space. So Danny talked, and this was really interesting, about how he wanted internally the players to fight for responsibility. He wants the younger guys to really push for spots and roles, and believes with the addition of a player like a Trevor Zegras, he wants to see if he's able to get back to the way that he was playing a couple of seasons ago prior to Philadelphia. He also talked about Dvorak and how he is really here to help the younger guys on the team develop. He said that there were some players in the past, like Joel Farabee, Morgan Frost, and Scott Laughton, that did lose responsibility because some of the younger guys stepped up. He said that the younger guys are starting to push and they want more. He named Martone and Nesbitt as some of the players that he believes stepped up. He wants the team to make the playoffs. However, he just wants the team to improve. So, again, it's all about the responsibility to the younger players on the team. Another thing that he talked about was being impressed with head coach Rick Tocchet and his coaching staff. He had nothing but kind words to say about them. He said Tocchet asked a lot of questions, which comes to no surprise. However, that's expected. He thinks that Cam York is actually going to have a really good season. And same with Jamie Drysdale. They think that this change will be really good for them. He also stated, too, that the goal isn't to trade players if the team doesn't make it to the playoffs. He does expect the team to take a step forward, still building brick by brick, but he's not looking to subtract at the trade deadline if things don't pan out. There's a lot of, and this is a quote, there's a lot of young players that we need to be patient with. All right. Now here comes, I guess, the big drama of it all, if you say so. It's about Carter Hart. So, For those that don't know, Carter Hart was with the Philadelphia Flyers. If you don't know that, I don't know how you didn't know that, but yes, he was at one point. Obviously, all of the stuff went on. I'm not going to talk in full detail about it with Hockey Canada and the trial. He was found not guilty, so he can be reinstated to the NHL. I believe it's October 15th. However, Danny said this, and I'm kind of summarizing what he said. Okay. A representative reached out to Brière and basically said, hey, in light of everything that happened with Hart over the last couple years, it was better for them to look for a fresh start somewhere else. So, based off of that, Carter Hart will not be returning to Philadelphia, it seems like. Now, while I can't say 100%, it seems like 90%, you know what, 95% chance that he's not coming to Philly. I'm not going to dive too much into that, but that's what was said. And it basically got brought on because of the whole goaltending conversation, which goes to show that they trust Vladar, but they also are looking for Vladar to kind of support Sam Ersson because they still believe in Ersson. They still believe that he can develop even more. And they just wanted to reiterate how much they believed in Ersson. Finally, Danny ended with this quote: we want to be a destination and a destination for players that are here and appreciate what they have here. So that basically sums up everything that happened with Danny Brière's presser today. Um, Obviously, I know what's going to get the headlines with Carter Hart. However, there was a lot of other good things that Brière said. So we're going to dive into my one-on-one with Spencer Gill. Spencer Gill is a really interesting player because he is so talented. And I feel as if, I don't know why, at least for me, but he was one of those players that I feel like didn't get enough traction, right? He was drafted in the second round, 59th overall, and he is such a good defenseman, okay? He's a very fast skater. I encourage you to watch some of his tapes just to see how fast he is on the ice, but he brings speed, momentum, and he's actually very smart too. He had 6 goals and 29 assists in the 51 games that he played. That is 35 points. He did suffer a broken ankle, so he had to, get surgery, and we talked about that. But if you were wondering why the 51 games, that is why. Obviously, he wanted to play in the Memorial Cup, couldn't do so. But last year, I had a couple one-on-ones with Spencer Gill. I wrote about it. I will have an article on it, obviously, besides the podcast. But he said a lot of interesting things well, about camp, his goals, and so much more. So, this is my one on one exclusive with Spencer Gill, concluding rookie camp. And yes, he will be going to the training camp on Thursday. Take a listen. Playing the Memorial Cup, obviously, with the ankle. Talk to me about that. What was that like having to deal with that injury?
Yeah, obviously, I guess the timing of it sucked. It's never fun to get hurt. But yeah, I had well care and was taken care of and kind of was able to rehab that and kind of put it in the past now. So.
And another thing that you said earlier in this training camp, this was my first day back, is that you did put on some weight, about 215.
Yeah, I'm playing at 215 now. So yeah, it was kind of, I guess, with not skating and all that, being able to work out, I guess like 16 kind of weeks just straight, it obviously helped me a lot. And obviously it sucks to get hurt, but I guess there was kind of positives to it as well.
So talk to me about that, though, dealing with injury mentally. What was that like not being able to play when you did have these goals in mind? Was it just kind of focusing, let me get healthy so next season I can achieve them? Or was it just one day at a time? What was that?
Yeah, it was kind of, I guess, the one day at a time mindset. I kind of, I guess, all throughout my rehab kind of hoped maybe it was possible to come back, maybe it wasn't. So I guess my kind of thought process through it all was kind of just do everything I can now to give myself the best chance. And I know I gave it all I had to kind of get back, and I guess it just wasn't possible. So some things, I guess, happen for reasons. So obviously I just kind of gave it my best all through the rehab, and I guess that's kind of the outcome that happened.
You still had an impressive season, though. You had the 6 goals, 29 assists. I mean, talk to me about that, putting up 35 points in the 51 games.
Yeah, we had a great team, great group. And yeah, I felt it was a great season for me. I felt I developed my kind of all-around game, defensive play, offensive play. So yeah, I was happy with the season.
So one of the things I'm looking at is some of the notes that I had actually last year when I spoke to you. And you said that you wanted to have develop my body bigger, faster, and stronger, and that was the mindset. And it seems like you've achieved that. So, what are some goals that you have for this upcoming season?
Yeah, I think I kind of have the weight on now, so it's just to learn how to use it. I think I want to still continue to work on kind of my defensive game and kind of being able to play in all situations. And yeah, I think just keep developing everywhere, keep being even a better puck mover, keep being involved offensively, and keep working on my defensive game. I think I can still develop everywhere.
So one of the things that I actually saw in tapes watching you was your speed, and it really did increase from this season previous to now. So again, does that just go into training and conditioning, or do you feel like maybe you learned some stuff here that you can apply back?
Yeah, I mean, obviously having all the great voices here.
Anybody specific that comes to your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I got to work with Sam Morin all year. Nick Schultz, it was great to kind of work with them. They were two great players, so to be able to kind of pick their brains and kind of learn from them, and obviously too the gym staff here, they helped me a lot throughout my rehab, and it helped me a lot. So kind of everyone kind of combined and kind of really helped me a lot.
And one of the things that we talked about last year was your friendship with Jet Luchenko. Do you guys still talk?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I guess throughout rookie camp he hasn't kind of been able to participate, but yeah, kind of back at the hotel, and we played some golf kind of before camp as well. So.
Oh, golf. Okay. You big golfer?
A little bit. Kind of got into it this summer more, but still just kind of not too much time for it, but still whenever I can fit it in, I certainly try to.
And then obviously training camp's going to be in a couple of days. What's your goals with training camp for this upcoming season?
Yeah, I guess trying to give everything I have, kind of show the type of player I am, and kind of, I guess, just see where I stand.
And what do you feel about having Rick Tocchet now as the head coach of the Flyers?
Yeah, obviously, talked to him a little bit. Seems like a great coach, and obviously, yeah, I think everyone's kind of excited to have him here, and they're looking forward to working with him.
Awesome. And then finally, the last question I'm going to ask you is, what is your takeaway from this rookie development camp this year? I mean, was it maybe a certain scrimmage or drill or a play that you had? Just what was maybe a moment that stood out to you that you're proud of?
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, it was honestly just kind of getting back into games. For me, it was just kind of first games back from being out a while. It was kind of like 6, 7, 8 months in between games. So it was kind of just giving myself kind of the confidence that I can kind of still play. And I was just happy to kind of be back playing.
Awesome. All right, so that was Spencer Gill. I found it very funny that he talked about his golf game with Jet Luchenko. A lot of these guys play golf, but they always find a way to bring it up. So that was funny to me. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that the Flyers have this new docu-series called The Flyers Way. Now, I did see the first episode, and what I can tell you is that you should check out the trailer on YouTube. It is going to really, I think, take you behind the scenes in a lot of ways. And I don't want to speak too much or give anything away. But if you're a Flyers fan and you want to kind of get a behind the scenes look, then this is definitely going to be the show that you would want to watch. So episode 1 does come out tomorrow. But again, that trailer is on YouTube and it was very well done. So to sum up today, basically, that is the wrap on rookie camp. Brière has a lot of high expectations for the younger players. Goalie situation, they trust Sam Ersson. They are not planning on having Carter Hart, just due to what his representative said. And obviously, you heard Spencer Gill. He feels good and healthy again. And again, such a good skater. So that was today's edition of Flyers Pulse with HTS. Thursday does begin training camp, and I will be doing episodes every single day when I'm there at camp or practices. And we're going to be really active. So if you want to have some exclusive content behind the scenes of what goes on, definitely hit that subscribe button. And to make sure to check out Hockey Hot Stove for all of your latest Flyers information. Again, I'm Haley Taylor Simon, and thank you for watching today's edition of Flyers Pulse with HTS.